Hello everybody, my name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a roundup of some of my favourite makes from 2022. I have to admit that I found it really hard to just pick 10 garments that I sewed up in 2022. I sewed up lots of things for myself but also for my family last year, and pretty much everything that I sewed up last year I absolutely love and I wear. I have got another video coming out where I talk about some of my, not necessarily sewing fails, but garments that I sewed up last year that I just don't reach for and the reasons why. So I have got that video planned and that's coming up probably next week, if not the week after. So I sat down to sort of make notes for this video, and I'd originally planned to pick 5 of my favourite garments from last year, but it was such an impossible task. So I've actually ended up with 10 of my favourite things from last year. So I've got my notebook in front of me, I've got all of the garments in front of me, and I will put pictures in of me wearing the garments so you can see what they look like. But I'm just going to go through why I've picked them, why they're my favourite, and what joy and excitement I get from each garment and why I've picked them for this video. So before I go through my list, I'll let you know what I'm wearing. And I'm wearing one of my many pairs of Helen's Closet Yanta overalls. I love this pair in particular. I love how bright and fun and colourful the fabric is, and I reach for them time and time again. And actually this pattern has made it on my top 10 makes for 2022. So I thought I'd wear one of them to show you, because I haven't just picked one pair for this pattern. I will talk in more detail about it when I get to that pattern. I'll stand up so you can see what they look like, but I'll also put a picture in of me wearing them. But these are the Helen's Closet Yanta overalls, and then I've just got Tilly in the Buttons Tabitha t-shirt on underneath. You've got the pockets here, you've got the bib pocket. I always finish them with dungaree buckle fastening, and then you've got pockets at the back. You've got the scoop on the sides. There is an option to include a side zip, but I never need to include a side zip. There's plenty of room without them being too oversized. I absolutely love the Yanta overalls. So that's what I'm wearing. So the first, they're not in any particular order of when I made them, if I'm honest. I just went through my Instagram and went back through my videos and all my lists of things that I've sewn up. And I just picked 10 garments. Well, actually, I picked way more than 10 and then I whittled them down. So they're not in order of when I sewed them up. They're just in order of when I was going through my Instagram feed. So the first garment was a blog post for Backstitch. So I do blog for them. I've done one blog post for them so far, and I've got one coming up. And the reason I picked this pattern and this garment was because it was something that I'd put off making for absolutely ages. I was terrified of the idea of making jeans. So here they are. They are my I Am Sunshine jeans, made in this really fun leopard print corduroy fabric. And the reason I've picked this as one of my favourite makes from last year is jeans was something that I was absolutely petrified of sewing up. I was really scared about doing the zip fly. The instructions for this pattern really hold your hand, and I found it really enjoyable actually inserting the zip fly. There it is. I wear these all the time. They're really, really comfortable. The pattern was exactly what I wanted in a pair of jeans. They're a really relaxed fit pair of jeans. These are quite crumpled. Almost like a balloon shape trouser. The corduroy is really hard wearing. It goes with quite a lot. So I've popped t-shirts on, I've popped jumpers, I've worn them around the house, I've worn them on days out, I've worn them to work. They're just a really, really versatile pair of jeans. And it was the first time that I thought, actually, I can tackle things that are slightly complicated. And I broke it down into tiny steps. I actually put in a label that says slowly does it. It's a little sloth. And I put that label in to remind myself that sometimes when you're tackling things that are slightly challenging and not an easy peasy quick win like a t-shirt, it's okay for it to take time. And I wear these so much. They've really added to my wardrobe. They've got back pockets, they've got pockets at the hip, the zip fly and the button, and then I also, you're probably not going to be able to see, but I also used hardware on them as well, and I was just really, really proud of making these jeans. And I wear them loads and loads. So that's why I chose them as one of my favourite makes from 2022. I think they just gave me a bit more confidence with my sewing and really helped me to sort of believe in my sewing ability as well. And yeah, I just wear them all the time. So that is the first garment that I chose as one of my favourite things that I sewed in 2022. The next garment is a hack of a pattern, and I ended up sewing up 3 versions of this pattern. And again, I think this just gave me a little bit of confidence in my ability to sew and my ability to play around with patterns, because I wasn't very confident up until this point hacking things. I'd hack things as in I'd try a different sleeve on something up, but I didn't completely change a pattern, keeping some of the original features. And this dress, I just had so much fun adjusting a pattern to suit an idea that I had in my head. So I'd imagined creating like a wrap dress that had like maxi length, crossover, lots of ruffles, and just really, really fun. And when Tilly and the Buttons brought out the pearl cardigan pattern, I fell in love with that pattern straight away, and I've sewn up quite a few versions of just the pearl cardigan. But then I had visions of using the pearl cardigan to hack it to have a ruffle on the drop shoulder, and then also be a wrap dress, because I love wearing jersey wrap dresses. So that is exactly what I ended up sewing up. It's all open at the moment. I haven't fastened it to cross over, but I will put pictures in of me wearing it fastened so you get the idea. So I kept the wrap detail from the cardigan, and then essentially, you're probably not going to be able to see, but I added a waistband here, and the waistband just sandwiched the skirt piece and the cardigan piece. And then on the sleeve, I inserted like this gorgeous ruffle. I know the ruffle's not for everybody, but I absolutely love a ruffle. So I put the ruffle where the drop shoulder was on the cardigan. And then we've got this like wrap detail of the skirt. And then on the bottom of the skirt, I added another ruffle, because why not? I absolutely love ruffles. I've also hacked it to have short sleeves, and I used a baby pink cotton, I think it was a cotton jersey with love hearts all over it. And then I've also done another one in exactly the same style in a yellow floral jersey that I got from Abercorn Fabrics. And I really love the dress. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. It's super comfortable. It's exactly what I was looking for in a dress pattern. And the reason I've picked it is because I've worn it loads. I've worn it to dinner, but I've also just worn it out and about with my family. And like I said, you can dress it up, or you can just wear it, you know, just plain with a pair of trainers. When I'm wearing it, it feels like secret pajamas. And again, it was just a reminder of the confidence that I have gained in the last, 5 years that I've been sewing. This the year of 2022 was when I really felt confident and comfortable with my sewing ability, and just had fun with my sewing, and had the confidence to imagine an idea and then turn it into something using patterns that I already had. So I really love this dress. I did film a almost like sew along video, so I'll pop the link down below for you if you haven't seen that. But it was a really easy, quite straightforward hack, and it's one that I've definitely got plans to make more of. The next make that I've chosen was one of my Make 9 fabrics, and I've got a big smile on my face because I've worn it loads. I wore it to work, the children absolutely loved it. It's super comfortable, it's really fun, and it's exactly what I was hoping to turn this fabric into. And it is, of course, my rainbow bomber jacket. Here it is in all its glory. I've got it zipped up. This fabric is just absolutely incredible. I got it from Fabric Godmother. Bought it, really wanted to turn it into a bomber jacket. Had it in my stash for absolutely ages. Was terrified to turn it into a bomber jacket. I was so worried about messing it up, because this fabric sold out really quickly. I just absolutely love it. It's everything I love in a fabric. It's bright, it's colourful, it's really fun, it really makes you smile. And the idea of turning it into this lovely bomber jacket that was going to keep me nice and cosy and warm, I think I was just terrified because I had such a clear idea in my head of what I wanted it to turn out to look like. And I was really scared that I would cut into it, sew it up and mess it up, and then I wouldn't have that dream bomber jacket that I really had in my head. So the pattern that I ended up using was from one of the Great British Sewing Bee books. I can't remember which one it was. I don't think I've got it up there. I can't remember which one it was, but I'll find a picture and put it in for you. And then I just used some ribbing that I got, I think I might have got that from Sew Me Sunshine. And I did the same for the cuffs as well, and also for the hemband. I've worn it loads. The children absolutely love it when I wear it to school. They call it my rainbow jacket, and it's also really cozy and really warm. And I was really impressed with that pattern matching on the back as well, because the back is formed of 2 separate pattern pieces. And if I stand up, you'll be able to see that I managed to line it up absolutely perfectly along the back. Yeah, and again, this was just a garment that reminded me about how much fun you can have with sewing, and actually the confidence that I had to just, I was going to toile it and I thought, do you know what, no, let's just go for it. And I'm really glad that I just went for it, and I've worn it loads and it really, really makes me smile. So that's why I chose that one as well. Next on my list was a dress that I sewed up for one of the new Craft House parties that they do. I think it was the spring party, and I absolutely loved sewing this dress up. I think the theme was 70s, and I took from it, oh no, it was Peace and Love. Was it called Peace and, I think it was called Peace and Love, their party. And I took from that sort of retro kind of florals, and I had loads of offcuts of floral fabrics in my stash. And I just had a really clear idea in my head. I sketched it out, and I don't often sketch things out, but I really wanted to make sure that I had everything I needed to sew this dress up and it was going to work. So I sketched it out first, and then I got all the fabrics that I thought I was going to use for this dress, and I laid them out on the floor in my living room, and I swapped some out and I put them in, and I kept changing which fabrics would look better next to each other. I pulled out all of my patterns to see which patterns would work for this garment, and in the end I used the Tanina Buttons Indigo dress, one of my favourite dress patterns ever, and then I also used the Anna Allen Anthea Blouse puff sleeve pattern piece, because I love that puff sleeve as well. And I just had lots and lots of fun with the dress. Absolutely loved wearing it to the party. I couldn't stay for all of the party actually, because my friend that I went with ended up feeling really, really poorly, so I ended up leaving with her and making sure that she got home or back to the hotel safely. But I did manage to stay for the catwalk, and I got to do a little twirl in my dress and talk about how I'd made the dress. And the dress, I think, symbolises a couple of things. It symbolises the fun, again, that I keep talking about with all of the garments that I have chosen for this video. The fun that you can have with fabrics, and just the creative element of putting a dress together and just following an idea that you've got in your head. But it was also how much I'd grown in confidence in myself, because I'm a natural introvert. Social situations where I don't know anyone and where there's lots of people where I don't know them really terrify me. I've got a huge amount of social anxiety. I have to really know people before I feel confident and comfortable going out in social gatherings. So going to the new Craft House party was a real push for me, that I really pushed myself out of my comfort zone. I had such an amazing night. It was brilliant chatting to so many different people, and it was a shame that I had to leave early, but ultimately I wanted to make sure that my friend was well and got home safe. But I still had loads of fun at the party, and leading up to the party I had so much fun putting this dress together. So this dress just symbolises lots of different things in terms of my sewing journey last year, and here it is. I don't know when I'm going to wear it again, I'll be honest. It's not the sort of dress that you can just wear at the weekend, but it is a super fun dress. So it's got these gorgeous puff sleeves, and then I just finished them with elastic casing, and then I've got this floral bodice, and then the skirt is made up with various like ruffles and different gathered tiers, and the skirt is enormous. Like, you can see how enormous it is. It was really, really fun to put together, and I feel like it was just such an enjoyable dress to wear to the new Craft House party. I just felt absolutely amazing wearing this dress. And then on the back I used the lovely Ethel and Joan buttons. I don't know if you can see them. And I got to meet the lovely Louise at the new Craft House as well, which was just really lovely. It was so nice to wear this dress. I accessorised it with a flower crown. I had some see-through socks that had love hearts on, and then I also had some bright pink jelly shoes, because I love wearing jelly shoes in the summer. And it was just a really enjoyable night, and I'm hoping I will get to wear this at some other point, maybe to a garden party or something. It was honestly such a fun dress to wear. I really, really enjoyed it. So that's why I've chosen that dress. Then on to not just one pair, but several pairs of my favourite dungaree pattern. And it's the pattern that I'm wearing now. It's the Helen's Closet Yanta overalls. And the reason I've included this is I made, how many pairs did I make last year? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I made 6 pairs of Yanta overalls last year. They are an absolute staple in my work wardrobe, which is one of the reasons why I've chosen the Yanta overalls as one of my favourite makes from last year. But I couldn't just pick one. So I've made so many pairs over the course of last year, and I'll put some images in of the Yanta overalls now that I made up last year, these included. I love these, they make me smile every time I put them on. I made a dinosaur pair. These were my latest pair of Yanta overalls, and I've worn these to work loads and the children love them. I made some mustard brushed cotton floral Yanta overalls. And then I made some in like a charcoal grey canvas fabric, which has got rabbits on and woodland creatures and things. They were super cute. I made a lilac pair, which I've absolutely loved wearing. And several other pairs which I'll put pictures in now, but they're super comfortable. They're a really enjoyable sew. They're really versatile. They go with loads of different things that you can wear t-shirts underneath, jumpers, you can wear blouses. They're really easy to layer up, and they are really, really comfortable when I'm working and I'm outside and I need to put lots of layers on, or I'm crawling around the floor playing with the children. They're super comfortable, and they're also brilliant to wear at home or if we go out for the day as well. And I love just how comfortable they are and how versatile they are as well. So I had to include my many pairs of Yanta overalls as one of my favourite things that I sewed up last year. And then the next thing that I wanted to share with you, I've included this because it's something that I've worn so much already. And actually I think it might be the only plain garment that I've got that I'm sharing in this video. And it is, of course, my Tilly and the Buttons Eden coat made in this forest green quilting fabric. And I bought this fabric from First for Fabrics last year because I wanted to do a toile of the bomber jacket that I ended up just diving in and making in this gorgeous rainbow fabric. So in the end, this ended up staying in my stash for ages, didn't really know what to turn it into. And then I really got the itch to sew up a Eden coat using some fabric that I already had in my stash from Fabric Godmother, but I didn't end up having enough of that fabric, and I just couldn't shake the idea of sewing up a quilted Eden coat. So in the end, I used this gorgeous quilted fabric from First for Fabrics. It's an absolutely beautiful green, and because it's a plain fabric, it's not plain on the inside because I used a really fun floral lining, but because it's a plain fabric on the outside, it means it goes with so many things in my wardrobe. So I can pop it on over all of my bright and colourful makes and it still goes with them. On the inside, I ended up using this gorgeous floral cotton poplin that I got from Abercrombie Fabrics, and I think it goes so nicely with the green on the outside. I've included this because I've worn it hundreds of times since I've made it. It's my go-to coat. It's lovely and warm. It's roomy enough for me to be able to wear a jumper underneath. And like I said, because of that forest green colour, it means that it's really versatile and it goes with so many things that I've got in my wardrobe. And then I just used a green zip, and then I've just got pockets. I chose not to put, you can put a flap on the pockets for the Eden coat, and I chose not to put a flap on the pocket because I didn't feel like I needed it. And then I've just lined the pockets with the same lining from the inside. And I really like the fact it's plain on the outside, but you still get that pop of colour on the inside of the coat as well. And yeah, I've just worn it loads, so that's why I've included it in this video of my favourite makes from 2022, because I've literally worn it hundreds of times. The next thing I wanted to share with you as being one of my favourite things that I sewed up last year was something not for me, but it was something that I sewed up for Ruby and Lola, and it was some swimwear. So I love using the Helen's Closet Sandpiper swimsuit. So it's a top and a bottom. It's kind of like a sporty vibe going on with the pattern. And I've sewn it up for myself. And then I was sewing it up for our summer holiday last year, and Ruby and Lola were desperate for me to sew up a two-piece swimwear set for them. So I let them do some fabric shopping, and they both chose some really fun, bright, colourful fabric, and I sewed up the Sandpiper swimsuit set for both of them. And I absolutely loved seeing them wear something that I had sewn. It meant that it fit them really well. It meant that it was really comfortable. They got to choose fabric that was unique, so it meant nobody else was wearing those garments when we were on holiday. So I didn't grab all of them. I will put pictures in of them wearing the swimwear, but I just grabbed a couple of examples of the swimwear that I made for them. So Lola chose this amazing like neon animal safari fabric, which I thought was really, really fun. And then Ruby chose this really bright and fun like hearts, rainbow hearts, which I just think is really fun and really beautiful, and it was completely her style, and this was completely Lola's style. And it was just really lovely to see them wearing something that I'd made for them, something unique that they really enjoyed wearing, and they wore it loads of times across the course of the holiday too. So that's why I've included those, because I've really enjoyed sewing for them. And I'm really hoping that 2023 is the year that I sew lots more for them. And they've already got lots and lots of plans and requests for me. At the moment I'm sewing up a hoodie and I'm sewing up a blazer, and I can see them requesting more and more things that they want me to sew them up across the course of the year. So I'm looking forward to sewing more for my family in 2023. Following on from sewing for my family, the next thing that I've included is a couple of shirts for my husband. So I've gotten into a tradition of sewing up shirts for him when we go away in the summer. So I'd sewed up shirts the year before. I used the same pattern. It's a McCall's pattern, M6044. It's a really straightforward shirt pattern. He likes the relaxed fit, and I ended up having lots of fun with fabrics. It's the only time I can get him to wear bright and colourful fabrics. So I had a pink tiger print fabric that I sewed up for him. I had like a viscose, which was like different colours. It was really lovely. I sewed that up for him. And then my favourite was this really bright neon with pink heart lollipops all over it shirt for him. And he enjoyed wearing these on holiday. Doesn't wear them at home, but he did really enjoy them wearing them on holiday. So it's just a really straightforward shirt. It's got a two-piece collar, so it's got the collar stand and the collar. Short sleeves. I didn't put pockets on for him because he didn't want pockets, and then it's just got the buttons all the way down. And then I did have fun with putting in different labels. So this one says, "I bet that you look good on the dance floor." So he really enjoyed wearing these shirts on holiday. It was lovely for me to see him enjoying wearing something that I'd made for him. And again, they were unique, so it meant that nobody else was going to be wearing those same shirts when we were away. I'm looking forward to seeing what fabrics he pulls out of my stash or orders for me to sew up some shirts for our next summer holiday. And then I've got two more that I want to share with you. So the next one is a relatively new make. I made this over Christmas, and the simple reason of me including this garment was I just felt fabulous wearing it. It felt like a really special dress, but actually it was a really straightforward dress. And I just really enjoyed wearing the dress. And it is, of course, my Deer and Doe Orage dress in this absolutely stunning embroidered velvet from Fabric Godmother. I nearly forgot where I got it from then. I love the Deer and Doe Orage dress. It looks like it's going to be a really complicated sew, but it's not. It's actually really straightforward. So you've got this neckband here, and then it's got this opening kind of across the bust. So you get a little peek of your bust. It's got long sleeves, and then the skirt's a really interesting feature. So it drops at the front and it drops at the back and it goes up at the sides. And I honestly just felt amazing wearing this dress. I wore it on Christmas Day. It was really comfortable. This is a stretch velvet, so it just felt like I was wearing secret pajamas. And I just felt amazing wearing it. I felt really comfortable. I felt really dressed up, but I didn't feel like I was over the top dressed up either. And this fabric is just absolutely stunning. Like the embroidery on that fabric is just beautiful, and I think it really makes the dress as well. So I've only included that because I just felt really good wearing it. And it was really fun to sew as well. It wasn't as complicated as I thought it was going to be. So I've got one more make to share with you, and I realise I've forgotten to get it out the wardrobe, so I'm just going to go and grab it. And the final make that I wanted to share with you that I was super proud of last year was an experiment. I had tons and tons of scraps, fabric scraps, and I wanted to work out if I would be able to piece them together to make a patchwork effect, and then quilt them to make a quilted jacket. And that is exactly what I ended up with. It was kind of rainbow fish inspired, and I have worn it to school and the children absolutely loved it. I was teaching them the qua sound and we were talking about quilting, and they didn't really know what quilting was, so I ended up taking this in to show them. It was a complete experiment using all of my fabric scraps. I'm just going to take it off the hanger so you can see a bit more detail, but all of it is made up from scrap fabrics that I had in my stash that I just pieced together, and then I quilted over the top. So what I ended up doing was I ironed all of the scrap pieces onto a massive piece of interfacing. I think it was probably about 3 meters. It took me absolutely ages because I had to piece them all, and some of them I had to cut so that they fit in the right place, laid them all over each other. And it's the same all the way around the jacket. Once I'd ironed them on, and then had to clip the giant piece of interfacing with the fabric on the top on top of some wadding, and then underneath I had this gorgeous gingham fabric, beautiful like ice blue gingham fabric. Clipped it, and then I stitched all the way around the edge to create one massive piece of fabric. And then I quilted the entire piece of fabric before I cut it out using the Ilford jacket, the Friday Pattern Company Ilford jacket pattern. Cut it all out, and then I was able to sew it up and create this gorgeous jacket. I'm going to pop it on just so you can see what it looks like. I decided to omit the collar because the Ilford jacket, you can have a collar. I also didn't put any buttons down the front, but I did create a little placket, as you can see, and I just used some binding for the edge, just some forest green binding for the edge. So I did bind the edges. It took me absolutely ages, but I absolutely love the finished look. I'll stand up so you can see, but I will put some pictures in of me wearing it. And then it's also got pockets on the front. And then what I did do was I took the jacket to work, and I had some of these sequins left over, and I'd just cut enough to give out to all of the children. So they had their own piece of shiny fabric, which they absolutely loved. I did the same actually with this fabric. I had some of this left over, and they all loved just touching the fabric. So when we were learning about quilting and using the cross sound to build the word quilt, I took in some of this fabric, and I also took in some of this, and I took this in to show them as well, so I could talk to them about what quilting actually means and how you quilt. But yeah, this was just a random experiment, which I'm really pleased worked out, and I managed to use loads of my scraps, and I created a really unique jacket, which is really fun to wear. It's not waterproof, so I have to be really careful when I do wear it and make sure that there's no rain forecast. But yeah, it's nice and warm, and I love how it tells the story of all the different garments that have been created from all of the scrap pieces of fabric. I'm going to take it off now, otherwise I'll be too warm. So those were my top 10 favourite makes garments from 2022 for all the different reasons that I've said. I really felt like I really grew in confidence last year as a sewist, and I really believed in what I was capable of doing. And I'm really hoping to continue taking that confidence into 2023 with my sewing. I want to sew up some more pairs of jeans. I want to continue sewing for my family and having lots of fun there. And I also want to try and sew with some different fabrics. I've got plans to sew up lingerie, and I've also got plans to sew up some backpacks and bags and things as well. So I want to really branch out and try some different types of sewing. So I'm hoping I'll continue to have lots and lots of fun in 2023 with bright and colourful fabrics, but also having lots of fun with my sewing too. Please let me know in the comments below which of those was your favourite garment and why. I don't think I can choose just one garment. It was hard enough trying to choose just 10 garments for this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really love it if you could hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified of when I bring out my next video. Thank you as always for watching. Take care, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.